Hey guys, it is week number 4 of Art Biz Boss, Become an Exhibiting Expert. Expert. So we're talking about money, all the money. We're talking about money this week. So let's see, I'm gonna do a screen share and I'm gonna show you some things that you have to use this week. So you have available to you the downloads, cost per piece tracker. We're going to start here. Okay. Let's see here. What do we got going on? So knowing and calculating your cost to make a piece. That's what we're doing. Okay. All right. So this is a download I gave you. And in here, this sheet is malleable. If I change it, other prices change. Okay. Let me put that back. That only goes down to here, so be aware. Okay, what did you make it on? All right, that's your substrate. Is it metal, canvas, paper, sculpture? What is it made on? All right, and what did that cost you? Just the raw material, what did it cost you? Okay, if you bought in bulk, take that bulk price divided by how many pieces you got for that bulk price, and that gives you your price for one. Great. Materials, what did you put on it? Okay, acrylic paint. And use your best guess here, guys, because obviously it's pretty hard to measure. Did you use the equivalent of about 1 tube? Or did you use 5 tubes? I don't know. How big is it? You know, what did you put on and how much? Then, how much does that cost you? Is it $15 per tube? Is it $12? Is it crappy paint at $5? Is it really expensive paint at $25? You know, how much is it costing you per tube? How many tubes did you use? That's the overall price, the cost of your materials. Now, you might have to break this out and say, well, I used paint and I used paper and I used macrame and I had millions and millions of materials used. Okay, well, you're going to have to break each one of those out and you're going to have to assign a dollar amount to those because we got to get pretty specific here, guys. All right, what other supplies? Diamond dust. This might actually be one of your materials, okay, or sand, something else that you used to make your artwork. I just used this, oh, excuse me, as an example. I know my friend uses a lot of diamond dust. So, okay, if a tub costs 40 bucks and I used about a quarter of a tub, that's $10, okay? Hardware, what did you use to hang it or display it? Okay, did you have to buy a pedestal for it and a tablecloth because it's a sculpture? Or was it just wire screws and hardware, you know, D-rings? Okay, and when you broke that out, you used, you know, one piece of wire, 2 screws, 2 D-rings, you know, about $5. Obviously, you had to buy multiples of those and they came in a package. So, you know, just use your best guess, guys, but don't undercut yourself. Okay. Tool depreciation. Okay, what tools did you make to use it? And obviously, if it's a tool you keep, then you're not going to charge for the whole tool on this one painting because you're obviously going to use that tool for lots of paintings. But you used brushes, palettes, paint knives, cups, aprons, all different kinds of stuff that you used for that. So you're going to take a combined cost of that and break it down over, you know, the usable life of the tool. If a brush lasts you for 5 paintings, okay, great. So you get to break that out. So I just put in $10 here for tool depreciation. But really think about it, guys. You know, there's real costs involved there. And if you ignore them, you will constantly be selling yourself short. Okay, then how big is this canvas? What's it going to cost you to ship it? All right, now think about this. You're probably not shipping to Alaska or Hawaii. You're probably not shipping internationally. So, what is the largest cost that it would cost you to ship it to the farthest away state? Okay, so really consider that. Maybe it's more than 50. I'm so sorry. Oh, I'm so tired. maybe it's more than 50, but you need to do some research here. You need to think about this number. Okay, so this is your total cost because you add all this up and you have a total cost there. Great. So you've tracked exactly how much it took to make this one piece. Okay. And guess what, guys? When you're pricing your work, always double your costs. Times 2 gets you to 300 bucks. Okay. But, and we've talked about this here and there, consider your heart's number for the piece. All right. What will your market support? And guys, what's it worth to you? Okay. You put your heart and soul into this. Now, this was just your materials. This helps you to take care of your time. Please do not charge by the hour. You have to think differently than hourly work, unless you're actually charging like $100 an hour for your work. But realistically, did it take you 20 hours and you're charging $100 an hour plus materials? I mean, if you're a high level museum artist, you know, you could charge like that. So let's just say, for instance, my heart's number, you know, we were here, but my heart's number says, no, it's worth $350. Cool. Now, if I sold it for $350, I would have to pay credit card processing fees on that, somewhere around 3%. Okay, so minus $10.50. All right, $350 minus $10.50 got me to, where did that get me to? 350 minus 10.5 equals 339.50. Okay. Minus 150. Okay, for the cost. The actual cost. Total profit on that piece, 189.50. All right. I sold it for 350. Okay, I made close to 200. So I'm almost doubling my money here. Almost. Okay. Which that's a minimum, guys. Really. That's a minimum. You should at least be doubling your money on this kind of stuff. Okay. So let's say, okay, so now we're going to switch over to, we talked about pricing according to your heart's number. This is big, guys. What does your heart want for that piece? Don't ever say it's lower. It's always going to be higher. Yes, you're worth it. Knowing your magic number. Okay, so if you go over to your monthly cost of doing business, this is another download I gave you. Okay, and you need to know this stuff, guys. You need to know how much you pay every week, every month in order to stay in business. This is your cost of doing business. All right. So what do you spend each month? I pay an accountant. I also pay for QuickBooks. I pay an assistant. I pay to house my website and my courses. I pay to house my galleries. I pay to have editing software. Okay. I set aside money for calls for work because there's usually charges involved there. I set aside money for my education because it's important. Just like you dedicate money to your education, I dedicate my money to my education as well. How much do you spend on advertising? Okay. Are you writing off utilities and, you know, phone and internet? Okay. Maybe you have rent for your studio. Okay. I am working out of my home, so that's fine. And then taxes, licenses, and insurance. Okay. There's going to be costs involved there. Guys, look at that. Just that alone equals $1,500 just to stay in business. Jesus. Okay. So if I come back over here, all right, an average piece. Let's say this is an average piece for you. Okay. $1,500 divided by 189.50, which is your profit. Okay. Because all the rest just went into making the work. That money's gone. Making and selling it. Okay. means I need to sell at least 8 pieces per month just to break even, just to have the luxury of actually making the work, okay, and staying in business. Yeah, and you haven't even eaten yet. You better still have a day job. Yeah, okay. So start to play around with these numbers. See if you can mess with these in order to get to where you need to be. All right. Now, you could sell more pieces. That would be good. Or you could lower your costs. Can you find a better price on canvas? Can you find a better price on paint without sacrificing quality? Maybe you don't have to use quite as much diamond dust. Maybe you can find cheaper hardware, and maybe you can find higher quality tools that won't depreciate as quickly. Huh. And maybe you can adjust your shipping methods. Okay. The lower the cost, the better off you will be. Okay. Oops, that went away. Let's see. There you go. Sell more pieces, lower your costs, raise your prices. Woo! Make sure your market's going to support this. You'll find where people buy and where people don't. Okay. Make sure your market will support it. Make sure it's okay with your heart's number, and raise your prices. You could do this annually. You could say, hey guys, I have a year more knowledge now. I'm going to raise my prices 10% this year. And you could even run a little sale. Hey, get this stuff now before I raise my prices 10%. Something along those lines. Okay. Just raise your prices. Raise your prices. Do not undercut yourself, because as you can see here, it takes a lot of money to do this stuff. It really does. So you could do all of those things. You could sell more pieces. Okay. You could lower your costs and raise your prices. Whoa, now your profitability margin goes like this. So now you have more money to work with. Yay. Because you need to eat and save and thrive. Okay, you need to eat. All right, so goal setting. Speaking of eating, let's say you need to cover those bills, that $1,500 a month that we came up with from your monthly cost of doing business. It costs $1,500 a month just to have a business. Good God. But you want an additional $2,000 to pay things like your credit card bills, your student loan debts. You need to eat. You have a car payment. You have a cable bill. You need whatever, Netflix, whatever it is. Okay. So let's say you need an additional $2,000 a month to pay yourself for your living expenses and stuff like putting money in savings and saving for retirement, guys. We don't want to work forever. I mean, art is awesome, but we don't want to bust ass until we die. So now you want $2,000 for you, but you still need this $1,500 over here. Still need that, guys. So now you need $3,500 a month, okay? Just to like eat and keep your business even somewhat alive, not even like making money, okay? So my magic number, okay, $3,500 divided by that average profit per piece means I need to sell 19 pieces every month in order to get here. Okay. Yeah. Now, if you're not selling 19 pieces every month, or your average profit is lower, then you're going to have issues and you're never going to get yourself fed or saving or retired. All right. So you got to really focus in your business about how are you going to meet these things. All right. Now, don't forget, all right, you're a business. You should have set up as a legal entity, okay, which means you need to be collecting sales tax, okay? You collect sales tax on the sale, and then you have to pay the government not only the sales tax you collected, but you have to have a license to do it, okay? You have to pay for that. Check your local laws, speak to an accountant. It's a pain in the butt, but you got to do it, okay? I'm not going to go real deep into that. If you have more questions, we can talk about that. Do not pull a whoopsie and spend all the sales tax you collected. Don't do that. Don't do that. All right, let's have a look here. So, talked about your magic number. Go ahead and play with these numbers. Set them up for yourself, okay? Those are just example sheets. You can edit them and play with them and set it all up so it's filled with the stuff that you need to have in here, okay? But as you can see, like if I make this change, then my number changes. I set that up as formulas for you guys, okay? So you are welcome to use that. Income taxes. Guess what? You still have to pay your income taxes because you are a business and you're making money. So I am not a tax consultant. Disclaimer, I am not a tax consultant, okay? I am not an accountant. But I know that you need to be setting aside at least 30% of your money for taxes at the end of the year, okay? So now you really start to see where this is nothing, guys. If you only made 50%, okay, then you had to give 30% of it to Uncle Sam. You only got to keep 20% of your money. Yeah. Now we've really got issues, okay? Do these things, okay? Sell more pieces and lower your costs and raise your prices. Yes. Talked about sales tax. You have these 2 free downloads in there, okay? So QuickBooks will, it's pretty easy to use, guys, and if you don't want to pay for an accountant, you can use QuickBooks all by yourself. It's pretty easy, and I will drop you a link, like a refer a friend link for QuickBooks. You can use QuickBooks self-employed because it's cheaper, but keep in mind that if you do eventually want to add on an accountant, you cannot do that with self-employed. You can, but they won't, it's still kind of complicated. I'm using QuickBooks Online Essentials right now with an accountant, and it's working out fine. And it's like, I got a deal for $12.50 a month. So it's good to have, helps you really keep a handle on what's going on with your books. All right, so that's a lot about tracking your money. But what about sales? Sales. We're going to make a different video for that. Okay. So